fine. She deserves at least to be free.
Hawaii and the surrounding islands plays a big Borja Aloha to Jensen and Jared Padalecki.
Hi guys. I think I've never jumped in my life and had so many lays hit me in the face. Don't start.
Too easy.
Yeah, low-hanging fruit is what we call it.
How dare you?
Or in Jared's case.
Now see, already, right there, we're gonna have to ask you to delete that photo you just took of him. I know you will, because
in Jared's case, it's pretty high-hanging fruit.
Thank you, good night, everybody. It's been a great weekend. Thank you. All right, it's official. They're yours. Have at it, Hawaii. Enjoy, boys.
Hey, real quick announcement. If you see your name on the screen right here, we need you to
get up
to
here.
this side of the stage, because when people
It's a Jensen ankles. Oh, it doesn't.
and that side of the stage, otherwise we're just going to be up here not answering any questions, which is what? It's the wrong list. Oh,
come on now.
Snap.
Snap.
That's funny.
Where's that? How do you know song list?
Hey, listen, we only got an hour. We can do this the entire time.
It says your name, please line up. It says my name too, I'm gonna line up. My question is for Jensen. I'm such a big fan.
Found him.
So when you did the scene that one time where you were so handsome, how did you handsome so much? I can't believe I'm talking to you in person.
Well, sir, I'm glad you asked.
You're so tall. And my follow-up question is, if you didn't have bow legs, how tall would you be?
7 feet. And regarding your first part of your question, handsome generally starts like this. That's how that goes.
Answer the question, Mr. Ackles. All right, get on up here, guys. That's y'all's name.
All right, this is the right list. Y'all get up here and thank you loud and slay.
Is there a...
And that's how new bits are born.
Is there a Deirdre Paulson in the audience? Nope, good talk. Okay. Is there a Nicole Meisner in the audience? Good talk. Okay.
And we wait. Oh, okay, we have questions.
This is a very blessed thing to be able to say, but the worst part of my life is being away from the people I love, you know? So I realize what a blessing that is to say, because a lot of people are I've been very, you know, I've been working in business for 18 years, and I can afford dinner, I can afford my rent, so I don't have these really pressing issues. I mean it. Like it sounds like a really a-hole thing to say, but I'm saying I'm very grateful. Like I grew up with parents who worked hard, and we had to, you know.
I'm just happy you can afford your rent.
You know.
We should sit down and talk about ownership at some point.
So you own in Vancouver?
It's not my home. But yes, to answer your question,
Burn. I'm gonna put you out.
that means I'm on fire.
Yeah, because you got burned. You got burned. So it's very difficult
I
to.
think Jared needs a me day.
Yeah, it's a good. We are both very blessed to be able to complain about not being around our family. You know what I mean? Like our brothers and sisters and friends and family also don't see their. I lost him.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about like taking me days.
Where are you going right now?
We're talking about mental health.
Apparently we need to devote some time to it.
It's difficult to take me days, but you know what? I think we try to do as much as we can to see our family as much as we possibly can. That's my opinion, Deirdre. Mr. Ackles.
I don't think about it.
How much is...
I'm open to any new jobs. Just saying. No, my question is though, did you expect this kind of fan base when you first started? Like when the show started, did you expect to have a 99.9% women fan base?
Chad,
Have you met Jared?
I'm gonna guess that's why you're here, Chad. It's because of our 99.9% female fan base.
I know. I brought my wife. Well, she brought me, but I got my wife into the show.
Oh, no, okay.
Yeah, then they dropped the proverbial mic. I don't think we necessarily set out to get any kind of specific demographic. We were literally just hoping anybody would watch the show. He and I were both fans of the script when we first got it, and I think we had a conversation. We're like, this is pretty decent. Like, we might actually get picked up and get a whole year out of this. And then
we might get 13 episodes.
yeah, and then once we started going, we're like, wow. I mean, they're really promoting this, and I don't know. We were hard to miss that first year if you were in any American city.
Like Dublin, Ireland.
Yeah. They promoted us very. They put a lot of marketing money on us. And
Means green.
That's right. There was.
It's like,
Anyway, at
Sucking
that
chicks.
point, it was kind of the biggest thing that he and I had really been a part of.
whoa,
without.
whoa.
New York Minute.
Yes.
That's right.
Dude, we both had projects that would devour the pilot.
A global phenomenon, that one. So yeah, it got to a point where we were like, we hope people see what we see in this, and it turned out that there's a lot of smart ladies in this world.
I think we were
And a few intelligent men as well.
like Chad. I think we sort of lucked out also. I think you can kind of recognize looking back that one of the death knell, how do you say it, albatrosses of a show is when they try to appeal to a specific audience, because you end up alienating all the other audiences, and then you end up alienating the audience you set out to kind of target in the first place. So we remained kind of about the story, and that's partially us, probably more heavily based towards the writers. Like there were a lot of things that, you know, when nothing, like I'm just using Coca-Cola as an example, I don't know if they actually did, but Eric Kripke wouldn't accept advertisers on the show. Like there'll be, you know, Coke says like, hey, if Sam and Dean are drinking a Coke, I'll give you $100,000. And he was like, nah. Like, well, but it's $100,000. He's like, no, I don't care. I'm like, okay, well, if you use this blah, 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 we'll give you $30,000. He's like, nah, you know? Like he remained true to the story, true to these guys, true to their journey, true to their sacrifice and their dedication, their loyalty. And so we were able to be a part of that. And I think because I read like a John Mayer tweet a couple days ago that was like, eventually all fads will be considered stupid, so just remain yourself. And that's kind of where we are. You know, like we passed all the fads because Supernatural stayed very true to Supernatural. And so here we are 13 years later with y'all guys.
Hi guys, how are you? First, thank you so much for both of you and Misha for bringing the characters to life like the
Let's stick with us two. Let's leave Misha out of.
Okay, well thank you anyway. My question's mainly for Jared. Jared, with your history of pranking the guys with porn, have you ever?
Porn.
Yeah. Have you ever showed them a parody for the Nightmare Before Christmas porn?
I've never heard of the Nightmare Before Christmas.
Then you should watch at least the first 3 minutes.
I'm nerd. Just 3?
Just 3 minutes.
There are so many places to go.
Oh, don't do it. Don't do it.
No?
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
No.
Okay. Listen to it? Who listens to Night Before Christmas porn? Just listen to it.
Just remember that the movie was actually a musical, so there's a certain part to the parody and the porn. This is what we're doing.
Got it. In all fairness, the pornography, the pornographic material I prank people with is usually not a video because it's more about the shock factor because it's difficult to show, like if it's a scene between Sam and Dean, I can't go like, watch the first 3 minutes, Dean, you know? It's more about like if I turn the computer towards somebody and there's a giant on the screen.
You don't even have to watch it, just listen.
Well, that's... I think I'm doing a poor job, a porn job of describing my intent. So I think a lot of what I do with the rumors of putting stuff on a computer is it's more about the second if the camera's rolling and it's your coverage and I pretend to be looking up like, you know, Got it, thank you for your question.
She got to hug you this morning, Jensen, in the photo op.
Whoa.
Yeah, she calls him, you know, her TV boyfriend.
So do I.
She's 5 years old.
Hey,
So do I.
she's this big.
So
And
my question
and she's
is,
cute as hell. What's her name?
Talia.
Talia.
Yeah.
She's a sweetheart.
Thank you.
She almost
We inevitably are part of the first
Is it a whale?
2 episodes because it's
porn?
part of our season. So- let's not watch the first 3 minutes now.
Watch the second 3 minutes now. Save the first 3 minutes for later.
I mean,
like my TV boyfriend was saying, we love to be a part of that world. Not
yes.
that world.
If the
But,
if the spinoff is successful, the show takes off, which I certainly hope it does. Then yes, you and I have talked about it. We'd love to come and kind of dip into that world every now and again, and I think it would be great. And I also think that I would love the opportunity to direct one of those episodes if that does present itself. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi guys. My question is, would you ever consider doing a Supernatural live episode? And if you did, who would be the first to mess it up?
Misha, because we would be forcing him to mess it up. I saw you. I can see you on the screen. So it wouldn't be his own fault. I would be working very, very vigorously and committedly I'd be very dedicated to breaking Misha. So they probably could never, or Alexander, so they probably could never do a live. Would you want to do a live? It'd be difficult. We have too many stunts and visual effects and stuff. We could do a live flashback episode where it's just us sitting. You remember that Wendigo?
That would be tricky. I mean, I'm sure logistically it has been done and could be done. But it would certainly be a different show than what you're used to seeing.
The closest we did was probably the original Ghostfacers, where it was really raw, really handheld, or Baby, or the original one with the vampires, and we were sort of in the background. I would do every remaining episode in Hawaii. After being here for 24 hours. I'll sign the contract.
That would be, but look, I wouldn't put it past the writers to come up with some crazy idea like that. They keep surprising us with some of the stuff that they do. So you can never really count anything out of what they come up with. It's just a matter of being able to do it logistically. But who knows? Jared's got his quirky ways, and I love him for it. I'm sure I do too. And it's all the differences that make us a whole. And I think you take one of those away, and there's something missing. So I enjoy the collaboration that we have, not only as a cast, but as a crew and as a family. It's really a beautiful thing to see.
Stunts. And I was wondering, what was the coolest one you ever saw or got to do?
So for me, the coolest one I ever got to do is very easy. It's the jumping through the plate glass window. The coolest thing I saw was when I think Castiel either tackled an angel out of a window or something. Long story short, they jumped 4 stories out of a building in New Westminster, British Columbia, which was terrifying. We're all sitting there on the street, and sure enough, we're looking at this window, like, okay, and rolling, and blah, 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 ready. Well, I was looking, action! And all of a sudden, these 2 guys, like in a trench coat, and somebody else, come out of a 4th floor window, just barreling through the air and fall, and they're safe. Between that and when Sam got hit by a car, watching my stunty Mike Carpenter get hit by a car without a helmet because Sam was not wearing a helmet. So you can't, as the photo double stunt man for Sam Winchester, if I'm not wearing a helmet, you can't wear a helmet. So he's just getting flipped in the air by a car. It was like mortifying. And we're all sitting there going like, are we about to witness something really bad about to happen? But between, so my favorite was jumping out of the church stained glass window. Season 4, episode 10 or something? 9, 10, 11. Heaven and Hell, I think. Heaven and Hell, is that what it was? It was Alistair and then, yeah, Jules, where are you? There you are. It was Heaven and Hell. And when did Misha jump out of the plate glass window? Third Man. And then, and then when did Sam get hit by a car?
One where he was Born Again Identity.
So, Born Identity, yeah. Awesome. Yeah, so those 3 were exciting to me.
When did Sam get hit by a car for 200?
It's appreciated. So those are mine.
Special effects, there's been I mean, obviously there's a lot, and I do feel like when we have an opportunity to do practical effects, we try to do them. But some of the ones that kind of stand out to me are good ones and bad ones. Ones that have gone great, ones that have gone wrong. I'll start with the bad. It was just another Friday night body burn on the set of Supernatural, and we were in a what do you call them? Earth. No, above.
Not Earth.
Earth.
Heaven.
Above ground caskets.
Mausoleum.
Mausoleum.
So it was a small mausoleum. It was one coffin in there, and I walk in, and I don't know why I was the only one in there. I think you were like doing something outside.
Don't blame me.
Anyway,
don't blame me.
So what happened was they put accelerant, and they put a pilot basically light inside the coffin, and then I strike the matches, throw it in, and then they crank the gas, so it's all plumbed and everything. But there's accelerant. There's like this jelly stuff that's accelerant that they paint inside of the coffin so that it ignites very quickly. Well, they painted in there, and a little too much time had passed, and the off gas from that accelerant had started to build up inside the coffin, and it was all enclosed, so there was no like wind or night air to kind of blow it out. And it was basically now.
I'm hearing off gas and wanting to make a different joke.
And so the fumes basically had built up so much that as soon as I lit the thing, it exploded in my face, and the microphone, the boom operator had a felt type of cover over the boom microphone, was about 3 or 4 feet above my head, got completely singed off. And by the way, I was like leaning over it. I just went, and it was just this explosion of fire. And luckily, I just like went like that, got out of the way. Needless to say, the special effects team was very upset. And they were very apologetic. But I'm like, hey guys, this stuff happens. Like, it wasn't your fault. I know you didn't mean it. I trust these guys to do a lot, and they're great. Those kinds of incidences don't happen very often, which is why I remember it so well. And then another one that I remember very well was when Dean gets killed in season 3.
Jules, which seasons?
The Hellhounds. Season 3. Nailed it. I had to.
You had like 30 seconds to figure it out.
I had to. My entire wardrobe had tubes running to it. They wouldn't do this practical anymore after that day. This would be all in visual effects. But that day they decided to go practical, and so they had monofilament attached by like one thread to 6 different parts of my t-shirt, that when the invisible claw rips, somebody actually pulls on the fishing line, and the fabric of my shirt actually does rip open. And then at that point, another guy has a giant syringe about that big around and depresses it, and it's full of blood, and it runs up my leg and then just starts gurgling out of my chest. And then I had to stay with that stuff for about 6 hours.
That was awful.
And it's corn syrup, so it hardens and turns into like candy. So I was like a walking Jolly Rancher for like.
What flavor would he be? What flavor would he be as a
Watermelon.
Who said sour apple? You're right.
Hi. So my question is from the most recent episode that you guys did with the ghoul that aired. In it, like, the sheriff kind of gets sucked underground and Dean's like over the hole and he's like, no, I don't want to go in there. And then he goes in and it's super funny. I wanted to know if that was like improv or not. And then also like what this season you guys have done so far to just like add into your characters.
Yeah, that whole tunnel thing, that was all improv. The not wanting to go in fact, it lasted a lot longer than they... I think I tried to go in about 3 times. I was like, nope, oh, come on! And I was like talking myself into going, and then I'd get like one leg in, and at one point I was like, all right, I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna go, what was that? Okay. I think I threw something in, and then I threw my flashlight in, and was like, okay. I mean, it was, Nina was like, I need you to go into the hole, please, at some point tonight. But the thing is the hole was only...
Are you watching that porn again?
Yeah, let's watch the 3 minutes after we're done talking on the stage, please. So that tunnel, the hole that they dug in that ground was only maybe 4 feet to 5 feet deep. And if you notice, I went in pretty quick. Yep. And that was, yeah. You're just down there, aren't you? You're just like Pennywise right now, aren't you? In the gutter. So anyway, there you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're not welcome. Kona?
What's the big idea?
Hawaii.
That's Hawaii.
Hawaii is the big one.
Is it really? Yeah. Nope, don't answer. Yeah, that too. Got it?
Oahu.
Yes, that's where we are.
Right. That's this island.
Where is Kona?
Also known as, is this known as like the main island?
No.
What's the main island?
Hawaii.
Hawaii.
That's the big island.
That's the big island.
There's Maine and big are different.
Well, because this is like the
gathering place.
This is
The gathering.
the gathering place. Oahu. All right.
I want to go to.
This is the capital, right?
Yes.
Kauai.
Honolulu.
Is it Kauai? What's the least popular?
Kauai.
Hawaii.
Thank you so much.
Hi there.
Hello. My question is, what's the coolest scars y'all have?
Funny you should ask. Scars? I don't know.
I have a piece of pencil. Yeah. So it's the lead from a tip of a pencil that my girlfriend in 7th grade stabbed me in the arm with. It's still there. It's right there.
See, I have a chainsaw scar, so...
You have a chainsaw scar?
Yes.
I'll go with the pencil. I'm sorry. Do we want to know?
No, I didn't do it to myself, so...
I have a very fresh scar. It looks like a hellhound scratch. It's not a real
She
hellhound.
got cut with a chainsaw, dude.
I know. I'm trying to change the subject because I'm scared.
Can I assume this was an accident?
Yes, very much so.
Okay, because if you said no, then I'm in. I want the full story.
It was an accident. I was holding a tree limb and he brought it down too quick.
Why were you holding the tree limb?
Got it.
Because he was trimming it and I was trying to be nice.
Who's he?
My friend Remington.
Is Remington
Her ex-friend, Remington. Wow. No, I don't have my hands are kind of scarred up a bit. I have a nice one here on my finger that happened on set while I was chambering around on my 1911, Dean's pistol, and it got jammed. So in an effort to quickly unjam it before they yelled action, I just re-racked it really quickly, but my hand slipped and the meat of this finger got caught into the
Middle of a take, we were rolling.
It literally was like whack, and then I ripped it out and just a big flap of skin, and I looked at it and it was just like, and then they go action, and so I held the flap of skin down with my thumb, and then did the take, and then looked down and there was just blood all over my hand. I was like, well, that probably doesn't work. Yes.
A couple of weeks ago, a month ago maybe, this season of shooting, I was in my driveway playing with Tom and Shep, and they were riding their scooters, and they were like, Daddy, let's ride. And I was like, I didn't have shoes on, so I was like, well, all right. And I was like, we always wear helmets. So I went to the garage, grabbed a helmet, and then grabbed my bike, started riding my bike, and we were going around in circles in the driveway, and Shep came to a really abrupt stop in front of me, and so I had to sort of come to a really abrupt stop as well to not smash over him. And being barefoot on a bike, let me see if I can go. You can see, I have like a.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Right, it literally looked like a mountain lion got him.
Yeah, it's hard to see, but I'll just keep doing this. You can see, like it's kind of nasty, but it didn't go away.
But you win, okay?
Thank you very much.
Let's be clear about it. You win.
I'll take the bronze medal. I'll take third place.
Yeah.
Chainsaw beats bicycle.
Thank you.
Paper, scissors. Thanks a bunch.
Yeah.
No, there's not one. There are a bunch. What was yours? Can you narrow it down to one?
When Sam hit the doctor ghost who was about to drill my face, and he came in, and I was pretty proud of him then, because I didn't die again.
I'm going to be really weird and say that I'm most proud of Dean for many, many things, but I think it's not difficult for me to understand his sacrifice these days, as far as when he sacrifices for his brother, for his friends, for his mother, for whatever. So I'm going to go back to the Dean that showed up in my dorm room in the pilot and asked for help when we hadn't spoken. Honestly, like that was more out of his comfort zone than I think he's probably been since. But it was one of these, like, I know things are bad. Like, it's not difficult for me to see how Dean sacrificed his life for Sam these days. He's done it many times and vice versa. So I'm going to go back to going out of his comfort zone to start this whole show we call Supernatural.
Ice 1 year. And the next year, to raise funds to replace it, they offered little pieces of it with a hand-painted picture of it and sold them off to raise funds.
Very smart.
Yeah.
Somebody's using their head over there.
It got taken away by ice. Was it put back together by fire?
Fire. Though I think it would, though it's a good idea, I think with the car that would be heartbreaking. You cut it up into tons of little tiny pieces. That being said, that car that you did see is, I believe, still in the same shape that it was. We have about 6 different Impalas at varying stages of like assembly. We have about 3 that are fully functional cars, and then we have another 3 that are, one, there's no engine, the doors are off, then one has a roof off, so we can utilize it to shoot different angles and different things. So yeah, the one that you probably saw was one of our like 5 or 6, the 5th or 6th car.
I can neither confirm nor deny that I may or may not have the original decal from the finale of season 1. Little honker.
You got it.
Yeah, we know you do. Everybody knows you do.
I cannot confirm nor deny it. Call me Jared Kushner. I don't know. I don't remember. I guess I forgot. I forgot about WikiLeaks.
Well, who knows? Maybe there's some other stuff that we can figure out something to do with. That is a good idea.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, so
my question is, what's your weirdest talent?
Weirdest?
Gills was belly rolling.
What is it, like the worm?
Yeah.
no. Like where you roll your belly.
No, I think like doing the worm.
No.
It's just called the worm.
I can tie cherry strings into a knot in my...
What was it?
I can tie cherry strings into a knot in my mouth.
Yeah, who can't?
Girl. I don't know, it seemed weird to me.
Well, it is weird if you continue to do it.
What else am I going to do with the cherry strings?
Throw it away.
But you can still throw it away when it's a knot, or can you not? Is this thing on? Or can you not? What's your weirdest talent?
I'm like double jointed in my elbow, so it just like looks really weird when I do this, but that's about it.
Come here.
This is my weird talent. Look at me.
2 for 2, we just emotionally scarred her. Thank you so much. So as is our wont, we are going to go ahead and, hey, can we bring the lights up a little bit in the room? I just want to see our supernatural family. Do we have, good talk.
Some house lights? Anybody?
Shows what kind of pole I have.
No.
Is
right.
Stephen Norton
Here we go.
operating the lights? No. Hi guys. Just want to can't see y'all. Y'all have been shadows and silhouettes.
So, we have a last question.
All right, better be good.
So I've heard you mention before that you get a kick out of that meme that shows the different hairstyles of Sam, you know, where the Sam's and Dean's is always the same. So I know it's heavy, but when the show's over and you're no longer contractually obligated to keep your hair the way it is, are you guys both going to change your hair up?
Good question. Ackles, you want to start this bit off?
Yeah, I'll probably...
You're supposed to say.
Yeah, I'll probably steal one of his wigs for a while. Thank you. Yeah, I'll probably change mine up a bit. I don't know what that's going to be, but yeah, I'll probably. It's been the same for quite a while. Be nice to change it. Are you ever going to cut that?
I think I'll
silky
probably
mane?
steal your wig. Love you back. I'm gonna go full mountain man. No shave, no cut, just full on. Or I'm gonna steal Jensen's wig. And try it. Steal Jensen's wig. I suck. Thank you.
Hey Jared, do the one again about Jensen's
Steal
wig.
Jensen's wig. 0 for 4.
Yeah.
0 for like 8. Thank you, Hawaii, very, very much.
Before we say goodbye to the boys, it's Steve Norton's last show with the band, everybody. It's been a pleasure, buddy. Ladies and gentlemen of Hawaii and the surrounding islands, Jensen Ackles and Jared Pennell.